Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Such a pleasure to have you on board. My name is Evans Okinyi and welcome to Kenya's most candid conversation. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
Good.
Let's talk about things taking place in the country. The security personnel attached to a number of Azimio leaders, including the former Prime Minister, the former Vice President, and a number of governors, especially from the Luo Nyanza region, have been withdrawn. We are looking at these, and a number of Kenyans are reading some sort of sinister motive from the government in doing so. I wonder what's your view on such kind of acts right now when we are having such kind of situation in the country?
You know, when you have power, you can use it or misuse it. Mm-hmm. In the run-up to last general election,
yes,
President Ruto told us those in authority should not misuse power. You should not misuse KRA to purport to be chasing people for taxes. When you are persecuting them, you should not misuse DCI. Now, but the same government is now misusing power to threaten political leaders. Because for Raila and Kalonzo, at least, what they have, they enjoy cutters of the provision of the law. Yeah. And therefore, if despite your power to deny them their security, then you are doing exactly what you are accusing others of doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But the police, in their defense, of course, I know very well that this mandate lies squarely the IG, definitely Japhet Koome. They're saying that the police will no longer provide protection to people who are actually causing mayhem in the country right now. Do you think that perhaps the IG is justified in his statements?
Well, I don't know where he's coming from.
Okay.
I wouldn't know where he's coming from, but I think I don't think any Kenyan enjoys security as a privilege that can be granted by a certain office. No, I think they enjoy this as a matter of right or a matter of law. So it's not at the whims of anybody, not even the IG. There are more important things for the IG to do than withdraw security from Raila and the rest. Yeah. It doesn't serve any purpose in that.
Okay.
Anybody doing it won't even achieve anything.
Achieve anything. But then don't you now think that perhaps these leaders are now exposed now that their security...
But that's, you see, that's where the folly is. You see, if something happens to Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Odinga, any of these people, even if that thing would have happened if they had their security, the government would be blamed. Why push yourself in that direction? Where government will be blamed if anything happened. And in any case, why I'm saying is I don't even understand these politicians. And Ruto rose to power through sympathy. And because he was playing the victim, he made people see that government, especially Uhuru and his brother, were being very unfair to him, were persecuting him. And that sympathy and that victim element propelled him to power. He's now giving the same advantage to Raila and Ruto and Uhuru and the rest of these people. Because sympathy will go there directly. Yeah. If you withdraw somebody's security, he gets more sympathy. He plays the victim. I mean, he's a victim. He doesn't even need to play.
So how would the issue of sympathy and victim help in this situation now? Politically speaking, if at all that sympathy was to serve Raila's situation right now, how would it help?
I said there are many reasons why Ruto is the president of this country. Of course, he got votes. You may have your own thinking. So a lot of those votes, if you have to look for how did he get the votes, because there are always reasons why you get. You don't just get votes. They are not yours for the taking. You get factors contribute to your getting votes. I want to assure you more than 50% are factors to do with sympathy and the victim status. Yeah.
Okay.
So in the same way, if you push sympathy in the side of Raila, these demonstrations will be a lot more successful than they would have been. Yeah. You see already there's a war cry. People are crying in some parts of this country. They want to kill Raila. They want us. So that is not necessary even. It's not even necessary because if somebody drops dead, even if they would have dropped dead from exhaustion, they will say you have killed them. Because how did you withdraw their security? What a coincidence that you withdraw somebody's security, then he dies. Yeah, people will not even wait to see the cause of death, even if it was heart failure. Yeah, so I think government is being reckless.
Well, we've seen this take place in the past, and actually, Ruto himself was a victim back then when his security detail was actually scaled down.
We didn't even like it. We asked Matiang'i, what is this you are doing?
Happened there, and then he was like, "You
people didn't like
it.
People didn't like it, but it never serves any purpose." Yeah. Then you return. So what is it?
But why is it that we're reading, if at all the entire mandate of ensuring the security of these government officials and even the former government officials lies particularly with the Interior Ministry, not even the Interior Ministry, but squarely on the IG, the Inspector General of Police, why would the president be drawn in?
I don't know. I don't know whether the president is part of it. I don't know. But I've heard them saying in the past we cannot guard people who are in the demonstrations. But you see, Raila's security and Kalonzo's security and Mudavadi's security is not at the whims, not even at the discretion of the Inspector General. It's defined in law, and it's part of the package they enjoy. Yeah, and then let me tell you something else. The president of the United States is the most guarded person in the world, I think. Let me tell you something else. After the nominations next year, they have elections next year. Once you have been picked as the Democratic Party candidate or the Republican Party, you enjoy state security. The Secret Service take over immediately. Even as you are doing your election campaign in terms of primaries, they begin to see where the weight is going, and they begin to, and as soon as you are declared the winner of the nominations, even before the convention, just after the Super Tuesday and those others. And it's for good measure. In this country, for example, if a presidential candidate dies before the election, the election must be repeated, the nominations must be repeated. Now, look at the security enjoyed by US presidents, former presidents. We're talking about President Obama, President Carter, I think is still alive, President Clinton, and so on and so forth. Bush, one of the Bush is still alive. And, why do you think they enjoy security? Because at a certain point, beyond a certain level, your security is not yours. It belongs to the American people. The security of William Ruto, and I said it repeatedly, the security of William Samoei Ruto when he was deputy president was not his security. It was the security of Kenyans. That's why I didn't like what happened in Kisumu when the deputy president took himself, flying missiles of storms. I said, this is dangerous. It's not your security. Beyond a certain level, it's not it's the security of Kenyans. If something happens to you, the security of Kenyans is jeopardized. You get it? So the security of Raila Odinga is the security of... Raila doesn't even need that security. Raila has lived his life. He has seen every danger man can see. Nothing will scare him really, although he's a human being. And Raila can die because he's a human being. But his security, if Kenyans believe you have killed Raila Odinga, then our security as Kenyans is greatly jeopardized. That's why they are protected.
There are a number of Kenyans who would perhaps argue and say that to them, perhaps the police, the National Police Service is justified in doing so because, according to them, Raila, by holding these demos, has actually undermined some of the rights of the others. And that perhaps he's saying that going by his latest actions, he doesn't require any kind of security from the government.
No, I've told you...
So there's that kind of complication.
I've told you security for Raila, two things about Raila's security. Mudavadi's security and Kalonzo's security. Let's start with what cuts across. It is provided for. As a retired Prime Minister, retired Vice President, retired Deputy Prime Minister. retired President Uhuru Kenyatta. They are supposed to be protected. So nobody can change that. The second thing I've told you, there are 3 people in this country. If you touch them, and we are increasingly creating a 4th. If you touch Raila Odinga, you have touched on the security of this country. If you touch on Uhuru Kenyatta, you have touched on the security of this country. Kenya cannot be the same. If you touch on William Ruto, you have touched on the security of this country. Kalonzo is joining that team, because if you touch Kalonzo today because of his role in this Azimio thing, not only will you antagonize the lower eastern Kamba area, there are many people in sympathy who will make this country a very bad place to live in. So we protect these people not because we love them, not necessarily because we love them. We protect them because we know if something happens to them, we will suffer and we will pay for it as Kenyans. So we are willing to invest heavily in the security of Raila Odinga. Even if it means giving him 5 bulletproof vehicles, we will give him. Because his security is our security. The security of William Ruto is our security. The security of Uhuru Kenyatta is our security. The security of Kalonzo Musyoka is our security. And that's why we invest in that security.
What about the security of Kenyans, those who go out there now? Definitely, we are looking at a number of people losing their lives as a result of these demos. And perhaps these people are saying now that you're not undermining and you're not careful about the security of others, why should we mind about yours? I think that is the message that the IG is trying to pass.
You see, the world works, which is a bad way. The world works in such a way we are not the same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we say somebody has been killed. Somebody has been murdered. Somebody has been assassinated. Not every death is an assassination.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why we say you are sick, but somebody else is indisposed. Not everybody is indisposed. You can't say Manyora is indisposed. Manyora is unwell, is sick, is ill. Raila Odinga is a judge, is indisposed. He can't come to court. Yeah. So we are not the same, unfortunately. I would not like it to be so. So Raila is not like me or you. Ruto is not like me or you. They are human beings like us. But society works in such a way they are at a place where we are not. And we must be very careful what happens to them. We don't protect the president just because we don't want him to die.
Okay.
We protect the president because if he dies, the country can go to the dogs. Yeah.
Well and good, well put, Prof. But then here now we are finding ourselves in this situation as Kenyans whereby we cannot actually differentiate between the independence of certain bodies such as the National Police Service. Of course, when the president came on board, he said that he'll grant the police service, National Police Service, the judiciary and all these other bodies their own autonomy, financial autonomy being therein, and ensure that they work as independent as possible. But now here we're mixing national security with politics. We are actually toying here with people's lives and all that at stake right now. What then does it take us as a country? What will it take us to understand that we should not mix politics with national security as well?
I've done a video, and when Ruto came in power, took power, there were moves to arrest, I think, 21 police officers, sack DCI, director of DCI's, police commissioner, IG of police. And I said, I could see Raila weeping sympathy. I said, now, we are trading on dangerous grounds. Let's not play with security forces. They are our last line of hope. If we mess the security sector, we are finished. We want the men in uniform to do their job the best way they know how, with minimal interference, if any. We want the military to remain in the barracks. We want the police to do their work. We want the prison warders to guard their people. So let's not make the situation murky. It's not good for any country.
Okay.
So I would advise that we stop dumping politics into security. It's very dangerous. For example, let's not direct the police unnecessarily. Let's not ask them to do bad things. We politicians. Let's not say we are now going to have hordes of young men who are not police dealing with protesters. Let's not, it's like we want to beef up the work of police. Or we think the police are not doing a good job, so we want to get vigilante groups to do the work of the police. That's not good for any country. And I keep saying, look here, I met a lady yesterday. She works with the UN and her office is in Geneva. And she was saying, I can see you love this country. She even bought me lunch. Say, Manyora, you love this country. Because it is true, I love this country. We should not play with security. Because then we are finished. If we are telling the police we don't trust them, we can bring other people other than the police to do their work. Then the police are not necessarily going to be very happy. They can't be smiling. If you are a policeman and you see somebody who's not a policeman has been given a police jacket, doing bad things, you can't be happy. It's like you are a doctor and you witness somebody who's not a doctor, it's not a surgeon, being given an opportunity or being sent into a theater to operate. How will the doctor feel? They'll feel very bad, okay? In the same way, the police would feel if they see people who are not police engaging in work which is strictly police work. And therefore, we must not dump politics into the security sector.
Okay.
Because it's dangerous for the country. Those of us who love this country, we will only advise our politicians, play your game, leave the security out of it, security sector out of it. Yeah.
Do not fail to tune in some of our programs, as I've said, that will be coming up next. Jada Kabiru will always be here, as well as Richard Mwenja. Such a pleasure to have you on board. My name is Evan Sokinyi. Let's meet next time.